Yo, what's happening, Cowboys Nation? All my fellow Dallas Cowboys fans, coming at you with another, hopefully, quick video here. A certain play that stood out to me in a very good competitive defensive game, Thursday night football on the road. Maybe the best defense in the National Football League, and that's the Minnesota Vikings. Hard fought, tough win. Our Cowboys found another. We won shootouts. We've won in various ways, defensive minded games, things like that. So, but there was one particular play that stood out to me in this game, and that's this play here. Now, I haven't been doing YouTube videos for years, but I have been saying for years now that I believe we should utilize Dez a little bit more in various ways, in different ways. And I remember last season, 2015 season, we played the Atlanta Falcons at home. And I can't remember if it was week 3, week 4. I believe week 3. Week 3. Anyway, we played the Atlanta Falcons. And after the game, Jerry Jones made a statement that stood out to me. And he said he wished the coaching staff would, now he wasn't being, derogatory towards the coaching staff, Jason Garrett, anything like that, but he said he wished the Jason Garrett and his coaching staff would utilize Dez the way the Atlanta Falcons utilized Julio Jones. I was like, man, I've been saying that for years. And what I've been saying, I'm not saying we should force feed the ball to Dez, but I was saying we should always put him either in the, not always, that's a bad term. We should more often put him in the slot or on the inside, because Dez is usually lined up outside the numbers. He's a very productive receiver, no doubt about it. Set franchise records in single season touchdown receptions. The numbers say he's a very productive receiver when he's lined up outside the numbers. But there are two words in football that begin with the letter M that you hear all the time: mismatch and matchups. When you put Dez on the inside or the slot receiver, he creates a mismatch and the defense have to match up. As you can see here, Dez is lined up on the inside of Cole Beasley. What this does is it puts pressure on a defensive coordinator. He has a decision to make. And as a defensive coordinator, you have to know your personnel. Now, when you put Dez on the inside, the decision that the defensive coordinator has to make, should I also take my outside corner and put him on the inside? Now, a lot of outside corners, they may not feel comfortable, playing on the inside because the receiver has a two-way go, inside, outside, things like that. He may be used to playing on the outside and using out of bounds as a 12th defender. You can push your receiver out of bounds, and if the receiver goes out of bounds, he can't be the first offensive player to touch the ball. We all know the rule book. So then, if you don't move your outside corner to the inside, you may have to go with your nickel corner or your slot corner, covering somebody like Dez Bryant. And in my opinion, I don't know if there's any slot corners matched up with Dez Bryant where I wouldn't favor Dez Bryant in that matchup. There's that word again. And then if it's a zone coverage, like what Minnesota is playing here, it appears to be like a cover 4 coverage. If it's a zone coverage and he's in a slot and he goes up the seam, now he's on a linebacker or a safety. There are no linebackers, no safeties. In my opinion, Harrison Smith is one of the best corners, one of the best safeties in the National Football League. But covering Dez coming up the seam one-on-one, that's a mismatch in our favor all day. And I love Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith, one of the better safeties. Eric Berry in Kansas City. Earl Thomas. Even though Earl Thomas, I believe he just broke his leg Sunday Night Football against the Carolina Panthers. But all of those guys, Eric Berry, Harrison Smith, Earl Thomas, in space up the seam, I'm going to favor Dez Bryant. That matchup is in our favor. And that's why I've always said, put Dez in the slot. And, you got number 29 here, Xavier Rhodes, one who's becoming one of the better corners in the NFL, especially now with Darrelle Reeves on the decline, with the Jets. They keep him on the outside. They're playing zone, and, it creates a mismatch with Dez in the inside receiver going up the seam. Check it out. I mean, that's a great catch. It's a better catch than it is throw. Now they've already highlighted here, I believe, Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. We got Anthony Barr, very athletic linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings, but it's a zone coverage with Dez going up the seam on Harrison Smith. Say one of the better safeties in the NFL, Harrison Smith, but that's a mismatch in our favor. He just doesn't match up. And you know, most safeties, you know, I'm gonna be brutally honest, most safeties are safeties and not corners. Why? The man-to-man coverage skills just isn't up to par, and they usually don't have the straight line speed either. That's why they primarily usually play safety. You know what I mean? Safety. You got some of the special guys like Charles Woodson, you know what I mean, who have the ability to Rod Woodson to do both. But you know, with Dez up the seam on the safety, and it's all started off why? Because we put Dez on the inside. And just by doing that, you create mismatches and matchups. That's what it's all about in the NFL. And you know, and when you do that, because Dez, you know, isn't one of, from an NFL standard, he isn't one of the faster guys in the NFL. He's about average with a 4.5, something like that. He's about average. His route running isn't the best, even though it has improved, especially this season. His route running has improved. And you'll see here on this double play he put on Harrison Smith. So against some of the elite corners like an Xavier Rhodes or Sherman, there might be times if he's always lined up on the outside, he can be kind of taken away sometimes. But just by simply putting him on the inside, it creates matchup nightmares, and you have to defend that, you know. And you know, Harrison Smith just doesn't match up, and as we can see here. I mean, he beat him back. I mean, a better catch than throw. If it was a better catch, a better throw by Dak Prescott, you know, Dez just jogs right into the end zone. It just creates an absolute mismatch with Dez in the slot, and I've been saying it for years. You know, if you put him in the slot, put him on the inside, he's an absolute nightmare to match up with, you know, in my opinion. Anyway, I just want to do that real quick. I don't want to make the video too long. You know, it was just something that I've been hoping to see a lot more often. Maybe they can look at this and say, okay, maybe we can use this a little bit more, something like that. But let me know what you guys think, man. I say it's mismatch and matchups, man. Just by putting him on the inside, the defensive coordinator has to make a decision. He has to. You know, he has to. Then if you leave your outside, your nickel corner against Cole Beasley, I mean, matchup. That's what it's all about. You have to match up. That's football. You know what I mean? That's a schematic. So you got to think. You know what I mean? That puts pressure on these coordinators. Got to make their money, you know? So let me know what you guys think, man. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Cowboys Nation, football fans, things like that. And let me know what you guys think. I mean, is something that we should maybe look at more often, or should we just always utilize Dez on the outside, things like that? So I'm not saying we should force feed Dez the ball. I'm just saying that, you know, just by moving him around, maybe put him in motion. You know what I mean? If you put him in motion, he goes up the seam across the field. He may be matched up on a linebacker across the field. That's a matchup in our favor, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Dez is a very talented player. That's why he's a first-round pick. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I don't want to make the video too long. Let me know what you guys think on that, and about Dez being on the inside in the slot. That play really stood out to me. Like I say, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And this is your boy, The Real McCoy, man. Cowboys Nation, I'm out. Peace.